I've always been a dog enthusiast. When I was a young adult, then I started showing dogs. I had to know more and more about them. And so I got into obedience and behavior and always learning more about dogs. As I grew in my nursing career and started to get into management, I kind of had a little goal in the back of my mind that over time I would parlay all of the knowledge that I was gaining over the years in my hobby into a profession. 2011 is when we started. And at the time, there were no doggy daycares in Peoria. So it was going to be something novel for the area. The fun part of our mission is easy. The dogs come, and as long as they're safe, they can have a good time. If you give them the space and the right tools to have fun, they're going to have fun. Where it gets a little trickier is the safe part. We'd all like to think that you can just bring a group of 15 dogs into a space and they're just going to play well with one another and that'll be it, but it's not that way at all. You have to evaluate each dog before they come into the daycare. You have to set expectations for parents and let them know what daycare is and what daycare isn't, what the risks and the benefits are, and help them to make an educated choice as to whether daycare is the right thing for them and their dog. Most important of that evaluation that we do on all new dogs is to pair them with the right play group, to make sure that they're with other dogs whose play styles fit their own, so that they'll have the best experience that they can have. And that's, keeping them safe as well. One other component of our safety is we do require regular attendance. If you have dogs that are highly aroused and that's not managed, dogs will get into fights with one another. So regular attendance keeps those dogs in the groove, so the arousal level decreases, and it's a much safer environment when dogs are coming regularly, as opposed to drop in or once a month, that type of thing. To me, the most important part of our mission statement is enrichment. If you're going to have a dog daycare, it should be fun and it should be safe. I think that offering enrichment to our dogs is really what sets us apart from other daycares. Enrichment is giving the dogs something beyond just play. So what that is for us is training the dogs throughout the day. All of our dogs learn impulse control, which is the ability to manage their emotions, slow down, stop, take a look at what they're about to do, and have some sort of control put into it. For instance, it's very exciting to go outdoors into the play yards, but all of our dogs have to stop and wait at the door and be given permission to go through the door, to go outside. That sort of impulse control carries over into their everyday lives as well. And it also helps us to keep that arousal level low so that we have a safe environment. There's a big investment that we make in our staff. All of them are trained over a 4-week period before they're actually allowed to manage a dog group. And they have to show competencies before they're allowed to manage a dog group. Each year our staff participates in the Daycare Olympics. Daycare Olympics are the core exercises that we feel every dog handler should have in order to lead a play group. What these do for us as an institution or facility, it shows us that our staff actually has the skill set that they need to properly manage a play group. There's an outside company called the Dog Gurus. This was formed by 2 women who have vast experience in the dog daycare world, and they were very concerned about the lack of standardization and policies in the dog daycare world as the dog daycare expanded across the country. So they put together the Dog Gurus in order to start putting good practices in place. They presented the safety pledge when they first started their company and asked every dog daycare that was a part of their organization to commit to the safety pledge. And it consists of things like, how many handlers do you have to a dog group? Are you doing continuing education? Do you educate your staff? All of the things that we feel are very important to running a safe and effective dog daycare. We really ask a lot of our folks and we invest a lot into them. For us, it's the right thing to do because at the end of the day, that staff member is really well equipped to take care of the dogs. Mom and Dad bring them in and they are greeted by one of our front desk staff members. And from there, the dogs are taken back and they go into what we call holding. Once they get into holding, it helps them to decompress and they start to relax a little bit so that they don't go into their play group over-aroused. Part of our enrichment philosophy is giving all of the dogs something that they need. Not every dog likes to fetch. Not every dog likes to roughhouse with another dog. Some dogs just like to hang out on the periphery and watch what's going on. And so our dog handlers at this point in the day are really focused on each and every dog and what they enjoy and making sure that during the next hour or so, each dog's getting what they need. We also do a mid-morning hands-on assessment of every dog. Every dog gets hands-on by the dog handler in their group, feeling over their paws, their ears, making sure that we don't see any wounds that maybe they've gotten at home and have brought into daycare, or that they've gotten in the first few minutes of being at daycare. And more than anything, this exercise is to get dogs used to being handled. It's part of our enrichment. We usually do have a designated bone time. It's a nice time for the dogs to settle in after having played for a few hours. We feel a midday nap is a very important part of the daycare experience because the dogs have played very hard all morning long, and the nap is like a reset so that when we come back in the afternoon, they're ready to play again. In the afternoon, we come back and we do wake up. They've had their naps and they're full energy, ready to go. So it's one of those times, just like the morning during check-in, where we will keep things low level, low arousal. And then once everything's settled in, then we start in with more ball play, bone time if the dogs like it, and of course training. One of the things we offer our parents are birthday parties. If a parent decides that they'd like to celebrate their dog's birthday, all they have to do is bring in treats or a cake and let us know, and we will do a video specifically with their dog and post it on our Facebook page at the end of the day. We do offer bathing and nail trims as a part of our services. They are an add-on service, and most people do really appreciate having their dog come home clean and having nails trimmed. For me, I knew that loving dogs and wanting to play with dogs wasn't enough. And so it was more than just bringing dogs in and letting them play and get exercise and get a lot of energy out. It was more about improving the well-being of the dog. My name is April Hammer, and I'm passionate about dogs and their well-being, and I hope to take care of your dog soon.